Good evening, guys, and welcome to Limitless DxT coverage. No, you're not going mad. We're back on a Wednesday night for SRM racing once again from F1 2020. It was a little while ago now. This is potentially just a one-off tonight, or maybe not, yet to be confirmed on that one. But we're here at the Sochi Autodrome for round 7 of the Russian Grand Prix. Got 19 drivers on the grid tonight. We've already got one coming out of the pit lane. That was very, very fast, and they're all really getting on with it now. It's an 18-minute short qualifying session, of course, what you're used to from Sunday to Tuesday. Supposed to be here with Justin tonight, when he's a little busy at the moment, so he might be joining us some way into this session, not sure when. But to the here and now, seeing these drivers come out on the circuit, and I will just put a little link in for everyone so they can watch the stream. So bear with me 1 second as everyone's just about to go out on their out laps. So quite a few new faces for me here from last season. Still got some old familiars as Marky and Farth, of course, and Dopey Lemons, and the Angry Dutch guy we know as well, and Richard, of course, and Steve, the three admins, of course, Marky, Steve and Richard. So just waiting for some of these drivers to start their laps. We'll have a quick look at the tyre strategy. Apologies, as you can see here, a small creature going a bit mental downstairs. Just seeing the Red Bull at Paul going into towards the second sector. I have to say, with this new track upgrade that Codemasters has given, it's a much more challenging circuit now, with the sausage curbs being much more there for you to make mistakes, and not something you can really run over anymore. So we're just seeing only 2 drivers, well, 1 driver still in the pits, but only 2 that are on the medium tyres. So that's a bit of a surprise, seeing Tomo Tip Top, as we of course remember Tomo Tip Top as well, coming round turn 1 towards turn 2. Of course, the first braking zone of the lap is turn 2, not turn 1. You're seeing some drivers out in the background there, a Haas and an Alfa Romeo, as you see him come through turn 3 now. Here's a flat corner, not so easy this time around. You've got to get the line right in F1 2021 as he comes through the end of sector 1. There's a 33.363. They'll be right on the limit through this section of corners. It is a bit fiddly, this track, a lot of 90-degree corners. He goes wide there, doesn't invalidate his lap time though. Must have lifted off the gas pedal as he comes round on to the back straight. The the first activation zone of the 2. Oh no, sorry, incorrect actually. The second, the first one is after the start finish line. Sorry for me waffling. I was just see Tomo coming in to turn 12 and under the bridge into 13. Be careful on traction out of this corner. It can really bite you if you're a little bit too harsh on that loud pedal, coming through the chicane of 14 and 15, 16, sorry, into 17 and now 18, which is the final corner. Seeing 2 drivers set time so far as he crosses the start finish, goes to preliminary pole position there, and Wolsey is gone into second in the Haas. Got 5 drivers who have now set laps. Both Haas drivers have set their lap times, and Vano is in 5th place. Do apologise if I butcher anyone's names, just give me a DM and I'll make sure if I am doing this again at any point, then I'll make sure to get it right. We've got Paul, who's gone into 3rd place on those medium tyres. Got 2 drivers now. Dundrees is on preliminary pole at the minute, with Starless in 2nd. Battle is in 3rd now in the Ferrari. Let's see what Steve can do round turn 17, and now the final, which is 18. Start finish line comes up really close there, and he goes 7th fastest with a 33.273. Apologies about that. I am now back. As you see, Mini Sprite struggling there through turn 13. I'm just going to check my little track map. I think I'm getting all the lap numbers a little confused. Yeah, sorry, turn 14. As he invalidates actually, so he wasn't even able to set a time. We got just over half the drivers now set their lap times. The top 11 have set their laps, with Jackie on a lap here into the end of sector 1, coming up to turn 6 and now turn 7, and towards turn 8 we go now. Got to be really on the limit there. Be careful of that curve on the inside. I've seen some videos of drivers being shot up into the air there over that sausage curve as we come round on to the back DRS straight. And Mini Sprite is just behind him, so this is going to be the first of the 2 drivers on laps potentially. Are we going to see Richard? No, he's just started his lap. See what Jackie can do now. Round 17 in 18 in that McLaren Mercedes. It comes around turn 17 now, and already got to give it anything out the final corner. A bit of Tokyo drifting potentially, and he doesn't do that. He keeps it nice and smooth. Goes across the line. Goes 10th fast. It's 32.610. Gets pipped by another driver. I didn't see who that was there. I think it was Isbim. I'm going to call him Isbim. In 8th place in the Alfa Romeo, seeing that Mercedes come back out on to the track. It's Tomo Tiptop who did take the top of the standings earlier on in the session, who rode on board with him there, but Marky is holding on to that preliminary pole position by around 5/10 or so, doing pretty well is Marky. Dundree's come out on his out lap now. And we've got 10 minutes left in this session. 2 drivers not set laps, F1 Farth and Puko, who is also was racing yesterday in the sprint format at the British Grand Prix, so make sure to go check that out. It was actually a very interesting race, 2 different videos for that one. Seeing what the Highlander can do now round the final 2. In 17th at the moment, going round turn 17 into turn 18. Crosses line, maybe goes a bit too wide. No, he was able to keep it within track limits. Only just goes 15th fastest. Jackie is out of this session. Looks like he's binned it into the pit lane there. So a little bit embarrassing for the McLaren driver, but we had to make something back of it in the race. Seeing Mini Sprite coming into the pit lane now, looking all quiet out on that Sochi Autodrome at the moment. We've seen Richard go wide. He's holding second place at the moment. 2 of the admins are sharing the front row of the grid. So we've got Puko, who is on a lap, and Tomo Tiptop. We'll see what Puka can do down towards turn 2 and 3. So he gets a really quite nice exit there, but does invalidate his lap time crucially, as we're seeing the Highlander not on a lap anymore. We've got Tomo Tiptop on a lap, however, just coming in to turn 6 and 7. Turn 8. just seen him come down to the end of this DRS straight into a left and then a right, turns 12 and then 13 under the bridge to 14. And 14's got a really said long exit hard on those rear tyres. I tell you what's hard on the rear tyres is on the tip top, not going through that chicane properly, hitting the wall, losing his front wing, now doing a little bit of a donut, putting off that Williams driver going through there through turn 16. Got an Alpha Tauri coming through now. That might have been Kieran on his outlap. Nope, it was the other Alpha Tauri driver, Dopey Lemons, who is about to start his lap. 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this qualifying session. Crosses line, Dundree's takes preliminary pole position by 0.2 of a second, just under 0.2, in fact by a tiny margin there, under the 0.2 mark, but he has got it. No one's broken the 1:29 barrier just yet with 6 minutes and 40 to go. You see Dundree's taking the escape road exit. I remember seeing Carlos Sainz, I think it was last year, where he misjudged those bollards and just sent it to the shadow realm and out the race on lap 1. I do remember that. It was rather embarrassing for him. We're seeing battle on the track, trying to battle this sector 1, and does very well with it, wins the battle but potentially hasn't won the war of the lap yet. Coming round into turn 7 and towards turn 8 now, and did say he had purple sector 1, and he's right on the limit there through turn 8 and down towards turn 9, and we've got turn 10 here, and these are nothing corners. I think I'm still getting all my corner names mixed up with little numbers. I much prefer the corner names, but you don't get that with a lot of these new circuits, only with the old schools, as he takes the chicane now of turn 15 and 16. You see a Red Bull facing the wrong way there. I think that was Afron Farth, who's now out of the session and starting on the back row in 19th place for sure, and Battle goes up to 5th place, improves his time, moves up to the top of the 131s. Pretty decent lap from the Ferrari man there. Still got enough time to do another lap. Looks like we might have a Haas coming around to start his lap. We do. We've got Wolsey, who is just starting his lap, so we'll catch up with him later on in his lap. Got Kieran coming into the pits on the medium tyres. Going to go out, I'm guessing, on a soft set and have one more crack at it. We've got Mini Sprite on his lap in the Aston Martin here. Just come out of turn 10. I was getting it slightly wrong. I do forget that some corners like double corner name numbers, which is just a little silly as we come down through turn 12 and into the right hander of turn 13 under that bridge, once again through this treacherous traction zone and up to the chicane. It's really off camber on the entry of the first part of the 2. The second part's quite rewarding, getting a nice clean line out of there and getting on the power quite early as you come through 17. Want to be on the raggedy edge here through these 2 corners. You can make or break your lap as he comes across the line. It goes 7th fastest with these 31.464. I think we have got Battle. He's not on a lap, he's just diving into the pit lane. Angry Dutch guy in the Alfa Romeo, he's on his lap, got Starlight in the head, ahead of him in the McLaren. Just moving through turn 12 and 13 he comes now. Up the hill into the chicane, and now on the exit and down towards the final 2. Potentially his last lap, unless he's got fuel to go again, but preferably he wouldn't have any extra fuel than is needed. Crosses the line Stays 13th fastest. Got that McLaren of Starless in the background. Just started his lap. May get a very distant toe, but unlikely. A bit too far back. We'll see where Wolsey's doing. Not very well. He's actually backed out of his lap there. So we're just waiting to see some action on track now, and I think it's just about to happen. We've got Richard in the Alpine starting his lap. So just watching Richard at the moment, just got the benefit of hearing that Renault hybrid. This comes through the end of Sector 1, start of this technical Sector 2, into Turn 7. And now 8 and 9, this is little kink and he invalidates at 9. Just enough time to do another lap. Has he got the fuel to do another lap though? Crucially got Markey, who is on a lap now. He's going out of Turn 9 where we just saw Richard invalidate his lap time, coming down this second of the two DRS straights. Going to be hitting upwards of 200 miles an hour when you hit the brakes at about the 100-metre board on the left hand side, taking a shallower line there into Turn 12, and then 13, 14 comes up thick and fast. We come out of that corner, up the hill we come into this off cambered chicane. Quite technical this track, but not the best for racing, and not one of my particular favourites either. As you come into Turn 17 and now 18, see how much he's pushing the limit on that exit. Goes fastest, takes preliminary pole, takes that 1:29 barrier, and he's the first man to get into the 1:29. Can anyone take that pole position away from him? We have got to wait and see about that. We're going to have about 2 minutes left of qualifying action with a lot of these drivers on laps. As you see Steve come around the final in the Alpine, he comes across the line, uses all the road, goes 12th fastest, and that was definitely his final lap. Tomo Tip Top gets across the line with around 15 seconds remaining. Just seeing who's the next man to come round. Looking like the Highlander, who is too late. Checker flag is now out, and we're just going to wait for the next round of drivers to come through to finish their lap. Stevie's retired from the session, and we've got the Williams coming through. Looks like we've got a McLaren as well of Paul, Red Bull, sorry, of Paul. He just crossed the line, stays 10th fastest, 31.5. Go back to Pucco now, who's in the wall at the final two corners there, just before the final corner. He's going to stay on that second row for the time being, but not what he wanted. And looking more and more likely that Markey has got that pole position. Seeing Dopey Lemons now, and seeing if there's any other drivers on laps, potentially Kieran as well, who I think is Dopey Lemons' teammate, and I'm sure he's probably backed out of his lap, so Dopey Lemons might be the last man. He validates at the final corner. That is really where you do not want to be invalidating your lap. If you're going to invalidate anywhere, that's not the place to do it. And as long as, well, no place is a place to do it, to invalidate, but that is the one that hurts the very, very most. So that's it. That's the end of qualifying out of these 19 drivers, and Markey takes that pole position here at round 7, and is not maybe in the best position being on pole. One of the only circuits on the calendar where it probably isn't ideal with that long run down to turn 2, around 1 kilometre in length. So he's going to have to get a really, really good start. We're going to get underway with the race in a few moments' time. So we'll go for the top 10 now. Markey takes pole with that 29.8, followed by Dundree's in second with a 1:30 dead, 30.3 for Puko. Richard is in fourth with a 1:30.6, 1:30.7 for Starless. Wolsey is in sixth with a 1:31.73. Battle is in seventh with 1:31 as well. Dopey Lemons 1:31.3. Ninth is Mini Sprite with a 1:31.4, and Paul is in 10th with a 1:31.590. And the rest of the back nine are going to get those crucial fresh set of tyres for the race. So I was just having a quick drink there, looking like quite an overcast day, but potentially no rain in this race, seeing as how quickly the drivers came out of the pits. So just waiting for these drivers to sort out their strategies. Of course, top 10 limited in strategy. Back 9 is not, of course. So we'll be interested to see what tyre selection of those 9 drivers will take. Of course, top 10 I think are all starting on the soft tyres, so I'm not too sure if it's 1 or 2 stop today. We'll have to wait and see about that one. My guess will be a try of a 1 stop, as everyone usually tries to do. So we're away for the formation lap. As you see, one of the drivers overtaking quite a few there. I'm not too sure what was actually going on there. That was an Aston Martin, I think, of Mini Sprite. I think he's fallen back to his proper position. We'll quickly look at the tyres before we start this race. Yeah, a little bit of a mix-up. Tomo Tip Top is in 11th place on those medium tyres. 13th and 14th are also on the mediums. 17th and 18th are on the mediums as well. And everyone else is on the soft tyres. So there you go. 1 stop, soft to medium. Lap 11 to 15, soft to hard. A little bit later on in your first stint. So St. Kieran and the Highlander again disqualified there from the formation lap, making contact with each other. So got an Aston Martin, or the green Mercedes, as some are still calling this year, up against the Mercedes behind him. Of course, equal power, but top 3 all Mercedes powers, and then got the Alpine just behind Starless in 5th. 6th is Wolsey. 7th was Battle. 8th, 9th was Mini Sprite, and Paul was in 10th. We're seeing more drivers getting disqualified from the formation lap there. Sorry, I was just having a couple of refreshments before we start this race. It is a hot evening here in the UK at the moment, in the middle or the start of September actually, but it is a pretty warm day here. Very humid indeed, very grey clouds here at Sochi. So we're going to get ready for the start of this race. 19 drivers, 27 laps, with everything to play for. Not too sure what's going on with Puko. who we're actually waiting for. Very, very odd. So I think we're just waiting for Puko to leave the session. Very strange, never seen this happen before. So I think we're now away. I didn't get to see the start of that. I do apologise. We're away for SRM Racing here at the Russian Grand Prix. Dundree's got a better start there and got off the line and has taken first place, with Richard looking down the inside towards turn 2. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Seeing that Mercedes, Williams on the rear there. Go seeing the Aston Martin going off the track there, maybe regaining positions off track. Might have to give some places back there. Seeing the Haas and the Williams behind him, and the Haas moving up into third place, and now taken into the wall goes the Williams, and that's going to cause some issues. Puko has retired from this race, and that is a virtual safety car already deployed, and we're already down to 18 drivers out of turn 4. That start got me caught a little off guard there, I have to admit. And we've got Justin, who has joined the session. I'll just invite you to the lobby. And we've only just got underway, Justin. We're on lap 1, so you have just made it in time. Right.
We built it up with some Formula 1 racing today.
So on that one we had 19 drivers. We had a William, a Puko, who's obviously an LFR, who was retired from the race. Looking like the race is just about to get back underway again. And there we go, we're back racing here at Sochi, and Steve has lost 2 positions there off that restart. F1 Fast has moved up 9 places in the first lap alone. We're not even at the end of the first lap as Dundree's has just crossed the line. Got drivers changing positions there, very strange. Not sure what's happened there. I think the timing screens are all over the place, so we'll just wait to see what happens. We haven't got not too sure what's going on, but something is going on with Paul falling down the order. Justin, and seeing an Alfa Romeo behind. These timing screens are going a bit mental.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a glitch in the system, but hopefully it will reset after a few minutes. So sorry for the inconvenience, guys, but
yeah, Dundree's in the lead. Dundree's is definitely in the lead. Starless is not 1 lap behind. He's just behind Wolsey, as we see the Highlander get the first penalty of the afternoon. And Mini Sprite just behind. Seeing some battles at the back here, Justin, with Tomo tipped off and Steve and all these drivers here fighting over the last points positions. You see Kieran go wide off the track, and looks like Tomo tip top might look to make a move round the outside towards the chicane. Nothing to be done with that move just yet. We've got Paul, who's been spun around in the Red Bull. A lot of action going on here, Justin. We've only had two and a bit laps, as DRS is now enabled.
Yeah, it looks like Paul is really struggling for traction there, because those tires, they have to cool down before he can go all out again, but it looks like he doesn't care about that. He's going to be struggling to try and get back into this race.
F1 Fast is now moved up to 6th place from starting in 18th place, and we're only on lap 3. Yeah, you're hearing that right. That is some serious overtaking and racecraft going on there in the first 2 and a bit laps in. Starless going to look to the inside.
Going to the inside. Let's see if he gets the job done coming off it. Let's see. Oh, he does it, but it looks like Farth is going to take the position back away from him. Takes him up to 4th place on the mediums. Well done to the Red Bull. Hopefully his teammate Paul gets better and gets higher up in on the positions to see if he gets some more points for the Red Bull. But very, very well done to F1 Farth, making his way up to 4th on those mediums.
As we just saw battle there, battling with his own car through turn 9. As we're down this back straight now with DRS now firmly enabled for a lot of these drivers. We're seeing a bit of a DRS train in towards turn 13. So Fast moved up to 4th place. Justin, we've got to pick the driver of the day, and I've already got someone in mind for that one.
Looks like we have a pretty big battle. Looks like 4 cars battling for 6th place, maybe even 5 cars. We might have to check back on that, but it looks like as they come around turn 18 on the straightaway, looks like that Haas is going to try and battle for that 6th place against the AlphaTauri. Let's see if he gets the job done on this DRS zone.
So we are seeing Dundrees though pulling away is the Dutchman, and he's already gained a 3-second deficit to Markey in that Aston Martin, as you see Richard following close behind him and still well within his sights and could soon be within overtaking range. And there's definitely some battles going on at the back here with Wolsey, Mini Sprite and Wolsey going through turn 5 through the kink of turn 6 here, and so got to be super committed through this middle part of the lap. Got a Ferrari who is going very, very slowly, I think, and it's the Highlander who is potentially took the high line there and wasn't able to make that work through turn 3. Kieran moved down a place. Tomo tip top now moving up into the top 10. Very close racing here at SRM, isn't it, Justin?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I actually like the competitiveness of this league. As you can see, even since it's just the starting laps, you can already tell that the gap between all of these drivers are definitely within a second for the most part, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of challenge, especially for that 6th and 7th position here, as there's a whole pack of around 6 or 7 cars coming down the final 2 turns, so it could be a huge battle for those positions there. But it looks like Steve in ISX is going to have a quick battle here. Oh, actually no, Steve actually just went into the pits. My bad about that.
So this battle for 7th place. Wolsey looks for a lunge at turn 2, doesn't get it done. He had to back out of it at the last second. Seeing battle coming through turn 3 right on the back of that Haas, and makes a look for a move into turn 4. No, thinks better of it. He's going to try next time around. Got a spin in the Alfa Romeo right on the gearbox of Jackie there, alone fighting for 11th place. That's over pride rather than points for the minute. Got the Highlander in the pitch, and the angry Dutch guy goes through into 15th place, and Vanu goes up to 16th. He's at a gain of
I might have to bring you down to 8th. Sorry to cut you off there, Joe, but it looks like Battle has just passed Wolsey off of turn, I believe that was turn 10 onto the DRS, taking 8th place, and same goes with Tomo passing Wolsey. Wolsey is just falling down the pack here. He might be struggling on some traction or possibly just on skill here, but let's see if he can bring it back up. He's not really attacking the curves that much, so that must be the result of him going down on the packs here, as both the Mercedes and the Ferrari of Battle, Mini, and Tomo taking those positions from him. But let's see if he can get his way back up onto this up into the grid and stay in the points.
Well, I tell you who is trying to get back up, Justin. It's F1 Favre. He's now going to get on the rostrum. He's into 3rd place before the braking zone of turn 2, and he's made it up and now going to try and hunt down that Aston Martin that's a couple of seconds up the road from him. Dopey Lemons is down in 6th. Isbim is making a move on that McLaren. He's trying to go side by side through turn 2. What a defence there from the McLaren. They're still side by side through turn 3, and the McLaren trying to take the inside line there and was able to get that to work and held off the Alfa Romeo there for 11th place. That's a good battle in between those two drivers, and we'll catch back with them in a few moments time. Closest battle looks like for 5th place at the moment, Justin. Looks like there's 3 cars involved in this potentially.
Yeah, but Dopey does have the DRS. Let's see if he can overtake Starless, which is in 5th. Let's see if does he shoot for the inside. No, he's going to be patient. He might be waiting for the second DRS. Well, actually, the first DRS zone off of the final turn of turn 18. Let's see if he gets the job done. I'm actually going to stick with him here. I think.
Sorry,
we might want to check out 11 and 12.
Yeah, Isbim is trying to. He's got past the McLaren now and the Alfa Romeo, and he's taken that 11th place. And he's the man with the most pride at the moment for that position. Kieran getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings there as they come through turn 17. Into the pits comes Wolsey, and the first man to pull the trigger on the pit stops. And
it looks like he actually got a 5-second penalty for actually speeding into the pits, so that's not going to be good for him for the rest of this race. Hopefully he can adapt to it and make his way back up the pecking order.
As we're on lap 7, and that is certainly already flown by as we see these 3 drivers fly by through turn 4 and now turn 5, fighting for that 5th place. And Mini Sprite is
a little bit wide there,
off
the turn 5, but it looks like it's a huge battle as they're each 0.36 seconds apart from each other evenly. So when it comes to this first DRS zone up at turn 10 and 11, there might be a huge change in positions here.
As you see, Dopey Lemons does have the DRS, and Starless is going to have to try and defend. He seems to have a little bit of a deficit there as we see Paul retire from this race, and he does at turn 10. Safety car has been deployed. That's going to pull a chain of pit stops there for sure, with these top 10 all running the soft tyres. Good news though for Wolsey, who is just pit, and that is certainly some good news for him. Dundrees is in the pits. We've had 2 drivers out, 17 remaining in this race as we go on to lap 8 now. That Mercedes into the pit lane. We're going to see if that, and he does, the Aston Martin does hold him up just a little bit, but I don't think that would have made any difference to the starting order. F1 Farth gets out in a nice gap there, so he's going to come out back into 3rd place. We'll keep an eye on Wolsey though, who did pit. He's going to stick to a Delta, but down that start finish, Justin, he's that Delta is going to go, and he's going to be able to push as much as he likes down that start finish. As we know, it is a long pit exit here out of Russia.
And it looks like F1 Farth might be going for the long run here as he actually switches to the hards. He might be just going for the rest of this race. He might not be predicting any other safety cars. But it looks like him, ISX, and Tomo have all done very well to improve from their starting position, as Tomo is in the lead right now and has gained 10 positions from the start of this race, and same respectively goes for ISX, as he has gone up 11th, and F1 Farth up to 13th. But I think F1 Farth possibly could be a high chance of winning this race, as he is on those hards, and we can just see with him overtaking the cars with the soft compound when he was on the mediums. So we can definitely see the skill in F1 Farth. I'm going to say that he's going to be my favorite to win this race. And Aston Martin, I don't know if you saw that, but it looks like Aston Martin in Mini Sprite does spin during the qualifying session, and there could be some front wing damage to that Aston Martin, so that's going to be ruining his race a little bit, but hopefully he can press on and stay in the points.
Doesn't look like he's got any wing damage there, and interesting to see the front 2 drivers fighting penalty, 3-second penalty for multiple warnings for the Highlander under a safety car. That's a bit of an odd one, as we're definitely going to have another lap of this safety car, as we still see 2 or 3 drivers who haven't called up to the back of the pack. Yeah, got some driver changes there. That's very odd. I think Stevie might have... I'm not too sure what's... This is very strange what's going on here. I think drivers can't seem to pole position correctly. From multiple ones. This is very strange, Justin.
Well, it looks like Mini Sprite is actually... Did Mini Sprite just get another penalty there, actually?
I'm not too sure. I don't think he did. I think he's going to serve one now, and that's why he's done it now, so it's less of a hit. I'm sure he's going to go on to another set of mediums yet to serving that penalty now. And he's having a front wing change as well, so you're right, when he got that spin he did get some front wing damage. As I said, he's just had that wing changed, and slow release there, not what he wanted. The Alfa Romeo is already out of the pit lane. It's going to move Mini Sprite right to the back as that Ferrari of the Highlander has just gone through to take 16th place. So I think we're going to get racing again, Justin, at the end of this lap, and it has been a quite exciting first 6-7 laps of racing before the safety car came out.
Well, let's just see, because right now, as it stands, it's anyone's game right here. Even with the people with the penalties, they still have an opportunity to gain a few positions here, and probably gain a gap to the position changes if they actually make any. But I'd say, actually, I don't know if you've seen this, but actually Tomo actually has more penalties compared to ISBM. So as it stands right now, ISBM technically does have the lead of this Russian Grand Prix.
But these two drivers, of course, do have to pit, crucially. So really, Dundrees is the leader of this race, but he's not able to lead off from the safety car. That is the job of his teammate, actually, Tomo tip top. But is he going to be the wingman? Is he going to be the Valtteri Bottas in this situation and potentially let him go and hold up Marquis and Farth for a little bit? That's what I would hope for him, or sorry, what Dundrees would hope for him to do. His safety car is in, and Tomo tip top now dictates the pace, but he's staying right up against that safety car. Interesting decision.
Alright, so I believe the safety car is coming in right now, Joe, as the safety car is. So these drivers are getting their tires ready as we take the final two turns to restart this Russian Grand Prix after the safety car. And actually, F1 Far gave a little nudge to RSI Marquis in the Aston Martin. He was being a little bit impatient, but he could have a position change right here as he is closing into that rear wing of the Aston Martin. He's going on the inside here. Let's see if he gets the job done. Coming off of turn 2 and 3 here.
Oh,
he does have the inside line.
Gets very close to the back of Dundrees there. There was parallel moves going on at turn 2. And they're all going side by side now, 3 abreast, and the Alfa Romeo pulls out of that move through turn 3, and we go through turn 4 now, and Farth is moved back up onto the rostrum, and he takes technically second place on the road as Tomo Tiptop still needs to pit on those. He's got medium tyres, but it did say for some of that my safety car he was on soft tyres, strangely, so he is on those medium tyres. Still going to look pretty comfortable for a while, and a bit of a battle going on at the back, Justin.
Where it is, but I think that we should stay with the front 3 right here. There could be a change in positions here as Dundrees is closing in onto his Mercedes teammate. He does let him through. Nothing changes there, but let's see if F1 Far with that battle could have an opportunity here to go into the second place. He's going on the inside of Tomo, and does he do it?
Yeah.
He is a full car ahead. He gets second place. Amazing stuff from the Red Bull driver on the hard compound, where a lot of these other drivers are on the mediums, really showing that he does have the skills to go with the harder compound. He could potentially catch up with Dundrees right now and see if he can take that first place back.
We're going to see if, just having a look at Richard, who's just overtaken. There's 4 cars here coming in to turn 2. He cuts across in front of the Alfa Romeo and goes off the track to the Ferrari, and Richard now moves down a place. We've got the Alfa Romeo. It's been just behind them, and he's really struggling with that dirty air through turn 3. It's a bit treacherous through there, and we've got Dopey Lemons on the inside. That's the back out of a move, and we've got Wolsey moving up positions. They're switching and changing every 100 metres here, Justin.
as we said earlier, the safety car changes everything for a race. Like, everyone was close together now, so we're seeing a lot of position changes here, and it's only been 2 laps since it. And same goes with Markey, as he overtakes Tomo, taking 3rd place and making his way up to the podium. But that's the whole thing with the safety car. It can change anything. That means all of these drivers, even with the penalties, will have an opportunity to get some position changes and possibly get some points for their team.
As we're seeing the Alpha, the Haas, going round the outside at turn 13 was the last of the late breakers there, and they come through the exit of turn 14 to the chicane. A little love tap there from the Haas, and once again, I think he really wants that second date, just the Haas driver, as we come down towards turn 17. Got Dopey Lemons on the inside, trying to make a double move there, has to back out of it. There is so much close racing here, and almost disaster every time, but this is looking like it could be an overtake here, and there's definitely an overtake up the road with Starless moving up on Tomo, and battle with Richard, and comes out on top of that one, and moves up to 6th place. Wolsey side by side with that Alfa Romeo on those soft tyres, who still needs to pit. Dopey Lemons moves down. The Highlander is out. That could be a VSC or safety car. No, I think he just retires in the pit lane.
You will be correct there, Joe. He has retired in the pits, which is very good sportsman like from him there, because we had some experience of people actually DNFing and retiring from the session during the actual race, like midway of the track. So very well done to him for following the rules there and making it safer for these other drivers. But Richards actually does spin off of turn 10 there.
Sorry, we're seeing Markey go past Far for second place. They're having a battle for second place. Those hard tyres are working for Far, but not as good as the mediums just yet. Sorry, Justin.
No worries, but actually going back with those hard tires of F1 Farth, I think he's actually okay losing possibly 1 position or 2, because I think he's going with the longer strategy here. And if he's close behind someone, I know that he has the skills to stay within that 1 second margin to get some of that DRS and stay at a good position to win the rest of this race. Possibly with him passing him, it was probably the best thing for him. But I think he might try and see if he can overtake him here. He's going on the inside of Markey coming down to turn 2. There's a little touch.
Oh, and he's round.
Spins.
No damage there. Oh, and he comes out just alongside that Ferrari and was just missed him. And I'm not sure. I only caught the end of that, so I'm not sure, in my opinion, whose fault that was. I don't know if you caught it all, Justin.
I'd say it was Markey there. Markey did not give the space to F1 Farth on the inside line. So I'd say Markey was the one in fault of that, and F1 Farth is the victim off of that turn. And because of that, now with him struggling trying to get the tires cooled down, now he does have a 3-second penalty. So I mean, anything can still change in this race, but that has to hurt a lot for the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, but he has made up a lot of positions so far, so he's sure he can do it again, I suppose, as it doesn't look like he has any wing damage.
But it looks like Dopey's going on the inside of the Alfa Romeo of ISB, getting the DRS. Amazing turn. It looks like the Aston Martin Mini's going on the inside. Does he get a position? And he does. IS of the Alfa Romeo goes down 2 positions from 1 DRS zone.
He is fighting back though, and there's Dopey Lemons is off the track, and his teammate, the angry Dutch guy, has just made contact. That's teammate on teammate collision there, and the number 1 no rule of racing is don't touch your teammate. Is the Dutch guy now has to enter the pit lane from that collision. Fortunately for him, it was very close to the pit lane entry as Jackie, and we see the Haas spun round as well in 14th place at turn 16.
Yeah, I might have to bring you up to 3rd place here. There is a little bit of a 3-way battle for 3rd place with Starless, Tomo, and Battle. It is pretty close. Battle almost spins it there. He does save himself a bit. But as they come down to turn 5, Starless is getting a little bit of a gap to Tomo, but Battle is staying on the rear wing of that Mercedes and giving everything that he has to see if he can go up to 4th place.
Yeah, we will keep an eye on this for the time being. We've got the Haas in to the pit lane. Kieran with another time penalty, struggling with those track limits here at Sochi, and just going to keep an eye on this battle for third. Battle is a bit closer to Tomo, and of course Tomo still yet to pit on lap 14, but he may come in, I'm guessing, in a lap or two's time. ISBIM or ISBM is in the wall in that Alfa Romeo, and his teammate who had to pit is not far behind him now. He's going to make up that position, and Richard is close behind him. But Battle is only 4/10 behind Tomo now, Justin. I think he's going to make that move into turn 2 now as he flies through turn 1 and gets that move done well before the braking zone.
Very well done for the Ferrari of Battle. Let's see if he can actually come down around turn 3. Let's see if does he actually close in on Starless a bit. But I don't see him battling him on this lap, possibly next lap, as Starless is kind of going a little bit slower compared to Battle off of turn 4 and 5, so it could be a little bit of a shotgun exits of those turns, but looks like Starless is going to be holding his own, but we'll check back with that battle in a bit.
TIS BM into the pits. We see Richard move up on the angry Dutch guy into 12th place. And looks like Starless is breaking away a little bit from Battle, and Tomo is still holding in that DRS window, which is not what Battle would really want, especially as he's got right close to him there within half a second through this final sector, which is quite a short final sector towards the next DRS activation point. And he's just broke that gap now. Go on.
I was going to say, Battle is trying to give a little bit of a gain in gap between him and Tomo, and it looks like F1 Farth might be challenging Tomo for that 5th place position in a few laps time. He was about 2 seconds behind, now he's around a 1.4, and it looks like we have a Haas, I think that's Vano, that has spun there.
Mini Spy is out of this race. Safety car deployed once again. And I'm not sure where he's crashed there. I do think actually it's on the exit of turn 2, so that could have easily been, that is easily safety car worthy, I think, there, where it is.
Yeah, if you actually go, if you were actually on the TV pod of Jackie, you would have seen that it looked like he hit a little bit of the curb coming around that turn, and it just, the momentum just brought him straight into the wall as Mini Sprite did lose his left front wheel, which just brings him out of the challenge in points. So it looks like Markey has a lot of work on his back trying to carry the team, as he is in 2nd place, trying to get as many points as he can for the Aston Martin team. I'd say for me, the best thing to do right now is pit and go for those softs. Because I'd say with those softs, I think they can last the rest of this race.
Yeah, we've seen Andres actually stay out. We've seen a few of the drivers stay out. I think this is going to be a bit of a mix-up on the old strategy. And some of them are now coming into the pits. Dopey Lemons is in. We're going to see Jackie come through now. All these drivers going to go on soft tyres? Surely they've got to go on soft tyres.
Yeah, I'm actually looking through. It looks like F1 Farth does have him some soft tires. Same goes with Marquis and Tomo. Looks like a few more drivers are coming in. I think Dopey and
Battle's
Jackie
going on
will
the
be
mediums.
switching to some soft tires as well. But same goes with Dopey and same with Dopey. Let's see. This is going to change everything in this race right now.
It's going to make this last. Well, probably my guess get racing again on like lap 9, something like that. So we'll have about 9 laps remaining. So yeah, those soft tyres should last 9 laps. They're not going to be doing full racing laps here, so it's going to be equivalent of doing probably 1 lap on those tyres, this whole safety car, so they can do 10 laps surely.
Definitely, and they might actually only have to do about 9 laps because ISBM and Steve are quite far back to where there could be another lap of safety car here. So if it is, that will be very beneficial to the ones in the softs.
Steve has retired from this race. Not sure where he's retired, but he has retired. We're down to 14 drivers. We've had 5 drivers out of this race. As my guess would be, we'll get racing on lap 18. I'm seeing Vano here, who's a lapped car in the middle of the pack.
If I was in Vano's position right here, what I would do is actually let my teammate pass me straight off of the final turns and try and actually no, he's going into the pits. Scratch that, he's going into the pits. He might be going for the soft compound as well. So we do have another lap of safety car here.
So my guess would be lap 19 we will get racing again.
Well, I have to agree with you there, Joe. Because I think the safety car is only allowed to stay out for, I think, 2 laps or maybe 3. I don't know exactly what the ruling is.
I think it's 4 in the game. I think it's a maximum of 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just seeing Wolsey come out now, and the angry Dutch guy, they'll catch up before the end of the lap. So yeah, we'll get racing on lap 19. Yeah, and we'll have 9 laps to go.
This is anyone's game right now. Anything can happen for the rest of these laps, especially. Well, actually, Dundree's, I would say for me, I believe Dundree's and Starless might be a little bit shaken, and same goes with Battle, as they're all still on the mediums for the rest of this race. I think they're going to have a tough time to battle against the ones on the softs like Marky, Tomo, and F1 Far, because I think those soft tires are definitely going to be able to last the rest of this race, and possibly even all 3 of them could go into the podium positions here, as Dundree's and Starless's tires are actually both 9 laps old. So I think they might struggle trying to keep those positions here.
So we're just waiting for the drivers at the back of the pack to catch up, and I'm not sure if it's going to be in yet. It's not. I don't think it's going to be in just yet. I think we're going to get another lap of this.
I think it might be coming in right now, actually. Are you
No,
sure?
we're past the pit lane. There you go.
Oh, wow. Well, it looks like this is definitely going to be one of the worst outcomes for Dundree's and Starless. Those soft tires are going to be catastrophic compared to those mediums, and it looks like Richards is going to go into the pit lane real quick.
He's got a speed in the pit lane as well. It's not what he wanted.
Definitely not what he wanted. Let's see, and that brings Richard up to 5 seconds of penalties. It looks like actually Starless have 6 seconds of penalties. So as it stands right now, Dundree's, Markey, and Battle all have the podium positions here. And I'm actually looking at the comments, and it looks like F1 Farth, right after that spin with the Aston Martin of Markey, says oops in the comments. That was definitely not coordinated between those two, but let's see if F1 Farth can actually get back into this race on those soft compound. and with those 3 seconds, he could potentially lose his positions to the ones behind or the ones above if they decide to pass him.
Yeah, this is still going to be interesting. I don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, Dundree's is slightly, it's better for everyone this one more lap. It's a bit better for the medium tyres because they haven't put so much wear. Oh, sorry, the 2 guys in the lead on medium tyres, they haven't put so much wear on their tyres, and they've got a little bit left at the end. But of course, they're not on a fresh set, and everyone else has just cruised around on these new soft and medium tyres and won't have any wear on them whatsoever, really. And the safety car is in this lap, and it's Dundree going to stick with the safety car again. See, I never know why they do this, because you'll know when they're going to go, is the thing. If you wait for the safety car to go round and stick quite a slow speed. But anyway, each to their own, I suppose, and we'll see if Dundree did get a good start away at the last safety car restart. Just building up those revs a little bit, and he's just getting ready to go, but obviously he's under a huge amount of pressure with those new tyres behind him looming in the background as we come around the final corner now, and we're away at Sochi once again on lap 20 of 27. We see a driver off into the wall there, almost. I thought he definitely lost the back end somewhat, and looking like Battle might have a go at Markey into turn 1, but he isn't able, turn 2, sorry, wasn't able to do that. But F1 Farth has moved up there, and Jackie has moved up a place on Dopey Lemons. Jackie looking to the inside at turn 3 into turn 4, and Kieran fighting back, goes over the curb and tries to stick with him. Surely got a warning for that attempt. He's got the inside for 5, but Jackie breaks that little bit later on those new soft tyres. That's very aggressive racing there, Justin.
Very aggressive, but it was still very clean, as we didn't see any incidents there happen. But it looks like there's a 4-way battle for second place here, and I think Dundree's might be getting a little bit of a gain to Starless. Starless is actually holding up the pack a little bit, and all of these drivers that are on the new on the newer tires are actually a little bit upset with that. But it looks like F1 Farth might take 4th place here, and he does, coming off of turn 12 and 13 here. But it looks like the Ferrari battle is still going to give him a battle, and he is still saying that this is war.
I'm going to see if Markey looks to the inside at turn 17. Not a large enough braking zone for a move there as he comes out of the final corner. Farth goes a little bit wide there onto the red and white curves. We have a retirement from the Haas.
Starless is actually going to defend against Markey on the inside of turn 2.
And he goes round the outside, the long way round, and Farth takes the place as well. Sorry, Justin, 3 cars in one corner for Starless. That wasn't good.
That was not good, but that gives both Markey and Farth the opportunity with those soft tires to catch up with the leader. And it looks like Farth is going to go on the inside of Markey, turning up to turn 5, and he gets the job done. He goes up to 2nd place, and now he is eyeing down the Mercedes wing of Dundree's, trying to see if he can take that first place position from him. But we might have to see that in the next lap here.
Let's see what Farth can do with these last few laps remaining. He's pulled out some performance. We're going to have to start talking about driver of the day soon, Justin, with only a few laps to go, but I got a feeling who my driver of the day is.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any discussion or any debate about it. F1 Farth has had an amazing race so far, and has gone up 16 positions from his starting position, making his way up to 2nd, and he is now within a 2nd of Dundree's. So if there's a DRS enabled on this lap, he could potentially take that first place position away from Dundree's.
And there we go, and he takes the fastest lap to boot as well. And of course, we didn't talk about this, Justin. The top 15 get points in this league. So the first place gets 28 points, and the whole grid gets a point for fastest lap. And he's getting closer and closer to Dundree's on those used medium tyres, and Wolseley moves up to 7th place. I have to say, I've been quite impressed with Wolseley in his overtaking. He's been a really active driver today and trying to get some moves done. Just seeing a lot of drivers in the background, side by side, the Alfa Romeo and Alfa Tauri, and the Alfa Romeo comes out off track and spun round the wrong way. The angry Dutch guy, maybe the furious Dutch guy at the end of this race, and really struggling out of turn 4, and Dopey Lemons into the wall as well, and a little bit of tiredness, inconsistency turning up now for these drivers as Dopey Lemons is now down in 13th place.
First place here. Sorry to cut you off there, Joe, but it looks like F1 Farth is going to take first place from Dundrees coming off of turn 12 and 13. Amazing stuff from Red Bull. Now what he has to do, his next job on the list, is get away from Dundrees 3 seconds, and that first place is his, and he has about 5 laps to go to make that happen.
Yeah, so F1 Farth come from 18th place and now has taken the lead of this Russian Grand Prix on lap 22 as we move on to lap 23 with another fastest lap and an overtake, and Markey is now going to eye up a move on that Mercedes as well with that rear light flashing. He squeezes him against the wall on the outside. He's not going to make it easy for him. He's got to go around the outside, and now he's going to have to charge down that Red Bull Honda for the win. It'll be Aston versus Red Bull, and maybe that Ferrari can get involved towards the end. Tomo tip top and Starless going side by side through turn 3 and down towards turn 4. They come now heavy braking into the right hander, and on the inside is Tomo tip top and comes down on top of that overtake as Starless is not going to give up on that 5th place just yet, but he's going to have to for the time being, as that Wolseley, as I said before, making some good moves today, is going to get in a fight now for 5th place. Are you just quiet in awe, Justin?
Yeah, I'm actually completely shocked from this actual race, to be honest. I'm actually enjoying this a lot. Like, this league actually has a lot of promising drivers and a lot of promising skills with those drivers. Oh, and we have a caution off of turn 15, I believe that is.
What was it?
15 and 16.
It was the commentator's curse there, saying he was having a darn good race, and he was, and now he's going to have to dive into that pit lane and get a new front wing.
I'm gonna quickly look at the time differences here between Markey and F1 Farth, and it looks like F1 Farth's recent lap was a 132.9, pretty fast on his end, and Markey is at a 133.0, so very close here, but it looks like Farth is gaining a little bit of a gap to second place.
But he has got a penalty, which we'll have to check just now. 3 seconds. So at the moment, as it stands, Markey is going to win this race.
As it stands here, but I don't think that's going to be the outcome Farth is going to be looking for. Because if it stays like this right now, Farth would actually go into second place, and Markey will take that first place position. But there's still a gap being gained between Farth and Markey. So I still think F1 Farth does have a chance of winning this race.
Sorry, Justin. Tomo and Starless are going side by side through turns 12 and 13, and Richard and the angry Dutch guy have been having a battle there. Richard has just come out on top of that one for the time being, and Tomo Tiptop is now moved up to 5th place. Battle, though, is on the back of Dundrees, and he's going to be regretting not coming into the pits under that last safety car. As he comfortably gets past before the braking zones, he hits the brakes at the 100-metre board, and he's definitely a car length ahead of Dundrees. Now moves off the roster of Starless and Tomo Tiptop, still fighting it out for that 4th place. 5th place, sorry.
But But it looks like Tomo actually had the better line coming off of turn 3, so he could potentially get an overtake right here or during this second DRS zone off of turn 10. We'll just have to wait and see there.
So we've got Kieran just behind as well, but he's got 11 seconds worth of penalties, so he's sort of out of that battle. Tomo's got 3. The third place to 4th are the only drivers who have not got time penalties. In fact, he's still making up a bit of a gap and is still edging ever closer. Dundrees has just overtaken Battle. They're battling for that third place. Farth's got another penalty, 6 seconds now, and that might have just lost him the race win, and he's only got 2 laps to gain, 3.5 seconds, which I think Justin will agree is pretty much not doable unless Marky makes a big mistake.
Well, as it stands right now, F1 Farth is currently out of the podium positions here. So with that mistake, he still has an opportunity to get back into the podiums. All he has to do is stay 6 seconds ahead of Battle. I think it's Battle Mini, if I'm correct. And he's right now 5.5 seconds ahead of him. So he's got to get another half a second ahead, and that podium position is his. Yeah,
and it looks like Marky is going to take the win. And it is a shame when the win is decided over penalties, but I suppose when you cut corners and gain time, that's one of the only reasons why you are ahead sometimes. So it does always balance it out in just a little bit. And of course, if you haven't cut corners, you haven't travelled, you've travelled a little bit further distance as well, of course. So it is a roundabout fair. The angry Dutch guy is out the pits, probably going to try and snatch the fastest lap at the end of this race, and this is the last lap he could have pit to be able to do that. And he is just going to get ahead of his teammate, but he is in AI mode. Of course, it will be close between those two, but he did just get out ahead. 2.5 is now the gap, and Tomo Tip Top is moved up again, and we're seeing Kieran going around the outside of Starless as well. That was an opportunistic move from the Alpha Tauri driver there, and he gets the move done, moves up to 6th place, and the McLaren 7th and 8th now. And we move on to lap 27 of 27. Go on.
I was going to say, it looks like it has been a very good turnout for the Mercedes team here, as right now they are in 2nd and... Oh, actually, hold on. Scratch that. Dundrees is now technically in 3rd place. He is now 6 seconds behind F1 Farth. So F1 Farth has actually made his way up to 2nd place here. Hopefully he can keep that position there. But as it stands right now, is Marking in the lead, F1 Farth in 2nd, and Dundrees in 3rd. And then the rest of the pack will be followed after that. But it looks like a very good turnout for the Mercedes team, getting a 3rd place position and a 5th place position if it stays like this.
Yeah, I'm going to have to keep an eye out on these close battles, especially the battle for 5th, because that's been switching and changing every single lap as we come on to the final back straight for the final time today. And Farth hadn't even made up that 3-second deficit if we hadn't got that second penalty. And we'll just have a quick look at Tomo and those drivers. We see Farth coming around the final few corners, but we'll talk about Marky, who we can now say is going to be our race winner. As you see the drivers come down to turn 13, no action there. As you see Marky come round the second to last. Farth is going to take the checker, but he isn't going to take the win. Marky's come and won the Sochi and the Russian Grand Prix in SRM, and F1 Farth takes that 2nd place, gaining that time on the time penalty, and that's very close between 3rd and 4th place. Tom Tip Top is going to come home in 6th place with Starless moving up a position. Kieran falls down to 8th now with Jackie moving up, and Jackie now moving down with Richard going into 7th. All these time penalties jumbling up the order. And see Wolsey, who is going to take the final points position, I'm guessing. So, driver of the day, Justin. I think we're still going to have to give it to F1 Farth.
Yeah, even though he let that 1st place position slip away from his fingers as he was getting a little bit too aggressive on the curves, I still say that just the position change alone is enough for him to earn Driver of the Day. So even though he is a little bit I believe that he's a little bit upset that he has lost first place, I still think that he should be proud to see where he started off from and where he has ended. So I take off my hat and I bow down to the F1 Farth of the Red Bull, and I say congratulations on that second place position and Driver of the Day, in my opinion.
And I'm sure the game is just about to show us that F1 Farth is the driver of the day. I am for sure. There we go. F1 Farth is our driver of the day, and the F1 2021's driver of the day. Quite right. So we'll go through the final finishing orders. Justin, as you didn't get to be with us at the start, you can finish it off.
Alright, well, we're going to have to see it right after these drivers pop the champagne and pour it all over each other in celebration and respect, because that's what this race is all about. It is about skill, it is about fun, and it's also, you have to respect the drivers around you. But as you can see, Mercedes gets third, Red Bull gets second, and Aston Martin takes the first place position. And once it loads in, I will tell you. Looks like it's thinking about on my end.
Oh, okay, I'll just quickly do it then. So Markey won the race, and F1 Farth came in second. Dundree's third. Battle was in fourth. Fifth was Starless. Sixth was Tomo Tiptop. Seventh with Richard. Eighth was Jackie. Ninth was Kieran. Wolsey was 10th. 11th with Angry Dutchman. Dopey Lemons with 12. 13th with Isbin. And 14th was Vano. Steve, Mini Sprite, the Highlander, and the other 3 drivers were all DNF'd from this race. Anyway, guys, it's getting late, and to be honest, the only reason why I was commentating today is I'm off work with a sore back at the minute. Got a trapped nerve in my back, so it's a little bit painful. But I hope you enjoyed the Limitless DxT coverage of the Russian Grand Prix here at Sochi for SRM Racing. I've been Joe. He's been Justin, and hopefully we'll be back again another time to do this on a Wednesday night. It's been a pleasure. Tune in next Sunday for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for Super Sunday Racing, and we're going to be doing the sprint format once again, Justin, so you're going to be with me for that, and that is going to be quite exciting. Again, it's the last two were quite enjoyable to watch, especially last night, I have to admit. Go back and check that out from yesterday, the 2 streams that Justin took on for that one.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot.
Thank you very much, guys.